Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our second show this Monday. Just double checking everything and making sure that we are live. And let's see what we did already. We already made our first mistake. Let's see here. We are on a different show, so we have to change our background, which I apologize because I didn't change it before we got started. And now we are. All right. So, from one show to the next, I'm still writing this skit for this show. All right. Literally. Let's begin, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the quickest hour in real estate, where we discuss the requirements to obtain a real estate license. This Monday, and every single Monday, I run this free real estate class. This class is about learning how to become a licensed real estate professional. Hello, everyone. I'm Warren Nelson, owner and director of Online Real Estate School Incorporated. I'm also part owner and broker of record for IS Realty LLC. I am the owner and producer of several real estate shows. One, Success in Real Estate, which airs Monday at 5 p.m. live streaming. The free live streaming real estate class that airs Monday at 6 p.m., the show you're watching now. And I'm also the owner and producer of my own podcast, Real Estate Saved My Lifestyle. I am proud to be able to bring this free live streaming real estate class to you all tonight. This is the quickest hour in real estate, and I want to welcome everyone here to tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing this show for over a year now, and this is one of my longer running shows. And I put together this show for the purpose of introducing new students who are searching and looking for a real estate school to figure out where they might want to spend their money, invest their money, and hope that they get the best rewards out of that class. So I'm one of the only schools that done this, ladies and gentlemen. I put together this free live streaming real estate class so that you can see me, see my teaching style, see what some of the subjects that we're going to learn in the real estate class, and see if I have that kind of bubbly personality that will match your ability to absorb the subjects and the lesson. So this is a little bit of a chance for you, the future student, to interview the school and the instructor to see if this is something that you might want to invest in. I tell all my students, and you please read my reviews, you'll see my reviews. I tell all my students that not only am I going to teach you how to pass the real estate exam, I'm also going to teach you how to run a real estate business. And that falls true because the show that we just left, we just got off the air with Success in Real Estate. And that show, Success in Real Estate, deals with the behind the scenes of the brokerage. It shows you what we do as a brokerage and what we do with our brand new agents who have just passed the state exam. Now they have a real estate license. And what we do at IS Realty is we take brand new agents and we cultivate them to be successful real estate tycoons. They're going to be running a real estate business, running a real estate company. Many of our new agents will start out part-time and then gradually go into a full-time position. So if you're thinking about getting a real estate license and you already have a full-time job, but you would still like to get into real estate, then I recommend that you do get that real estate license, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you in the next 2 to 3 years, you are going to have multiple streams of income coming in. You will not want to be relying on just one source of income. If you're like the average herd, just the average crowd, then you're going to be hearing a lot of doom and gloom noise in the media. Interest rates are going up. The banks aren't lending. The prices of property are falling. This is the worst it's been in a decade. This is the worst it's been in a decade. That's fine. That all opens up excellent opportunities for buyers and investors. So, but if you're the doom and gloom and you're feeling the depression, the news, and you lose that one source of income that you have coming in, it is a demolisher. It will demolish you if you were relying on one source of income when we're in a very depressed time and you lose that source of income. It's very hard for you to put those shoulders up and believe that something better is along the horizon. But if you were smart enough to take a real estate class and get that real estate license, then you're not relying on just that one source of income. And should anything happen, that source of income, you were smart enough to position yourself to not have all your eggs in one basket, to have other multiple streams of income coming in. So now is a good time to be getting a real estate license, ladies and gentlemen. It's always a good time to get a real estate license. I don't really think there's a bad time to get a real estate license. But I want to encourage you with the bad times that are ahead, and they're not really bad times, they're just tight economic times that'll be ahead. Those times that are ahead, if you have a real estate license, you will be better sheltered to pick up yourself and run when everybody else is asking, how are you doing it? Companies are closing, businesses are going down. How are you surviving? I want to remind everybody that when we started this pandemic, real estate was essential. When everybody else was locked down, when everything came to a halt, real estate did not, ladies and gentlemen. Under a governor's waiver, real estate was essential, and because of the governor's because of the governor's waiver, we're able to teach this class through a Zoom platform, the platform that you're looking to see me at right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly how you will be coming into the class. The only difference is you would be part of this live stream. You would get to see me, talk to me, ask me questions. I would call on you, your question, yes, your question, yes. So because it's a live stream platform, it is the best of both worlds. You don't have to spend time and gas money, especially the price of gas today, to go to an in-person class. You don't have to worry about the disruptor of the person next to you coughing or sneezing. That is certainly going to distract you from your studies. You don't have to worry about rushing from work or classes to get to this class. You don't have to worry about parking. You don't have to worry about the weather holding you back. None of these things, because the beauty of this live stream platform. And the live stream platform, I've incorporated so well that I've taken it to the next level. I run my real estate business through the live stream platform. I run my real estate school through the live stream platform. I run my shows through the live stream platform. So understand, notice what I did and what I'm teaching you. I took a bad situation. We were locked down in a pandemic, and I capitalized off of it, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'm trying to teach you is we are going into tough economic times ahead. I can put you in a position to capitalize off of that. I'm certainly planning on capitalizing off of it. I'm waiting for the interest rates. I believe the interest rates will probably go back close to 12% before this is done. We are repeating the 80s, as I said in my last show, ladies and gentlemen. So if you were familiar with Jimmy Carter and what happened under the Jimmy Carter administration, he was a one-term president. Reason so, I believe that we were repeating that, and this administration did a photo op with Jimmy Carter before he started, and the intentions were there to put a lot of, not the Obama administration, but actually the Jimmy Carter administration's programs into effect, which is why we had a picture with Jimmy Carter and his wife and our new president and his wife at the very beginning. So understand, these was telltale signs of what's going to happen. And this is why, if you understood what we paid for gas under the Jimmy Carter situation, you had to get gas every other day. People were crashing into each other for gas. If you understood what happened then, you're going to see that happen again. If you understood that interest rates went to 18 to 22% under the Jimmy Carter administration, you will see, I believe, 12% interest rate before it's done and said. So we're currently at 5%. And that's going to go up. this is a good thing for those who understand how to buy low and sell high. Watch what others are doing and do the opposite. So I'm going to put you in a very good position. I told you in the beginning of my show, not only am I going to teach you and prep you how to pass the real estate exam, I'm going to teach you how to run a real estate business. I'm going to teach you how to invest in property legally and ethically. And one of those ways in this class that I'm going to teach you how to invest in property is by owner financing, seller financing, working directly with the buyer and the sellers on terms, on notes, on paper, rather than bidding money from the banks when the banks are not lending money because they tightened their restriction and their confidence is very low about lending money. So if you know how to do exactly like we did in the 80s, which was creative financing, a lot of people got wealthy in the 80s, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people, everybody seemed to get wealthy. This is when, well, I don't want to mention certain names because it can give bad vibes, but a lot of hedge funds, a lot of investment companies, a lot of very famous people that you know now made their money back in the 80s, and when things were really, really bad for the common person, the average person, those who knew how to monopolize on a market succeeded wildly. I was one of them, ladies and gentlemen. Made my first fortune in real estate back in the 80s when everybody else was doom and gloom. I just happened to make my fortune in timeshares back then. Timeshares is a whole different game today, ladies and gentlemen. The whole world is a little bit different, but what the whole world always experiences is the tide. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. This is the ebb and flow of history repeating itself. So if you are wise enough to be watching my show right now, if you are wise enough to be contemplating getting a real estate license, then I want you to contemplate not just a real estate school that's going to help you pass an exam. I want you to contemplate a real estate school that's going to take you 3 levels higher than that. Not just passing the exam, but learning how to run a real estate business, learning how to invest in property legally and ethically, learning the easy way of doing math, and learning long-term memory techniques. This is my claim to fame, ladies and gentlemen. Please read my reviews. See the comments, see the like, see the thumbs up that we're receiving right now. I guess that's probably on Facebook where you see all the hearts and the likes going up right now. So I'm on many, many different social media platforms right now. Twitter, Gab, Instagram, TikTok, Getter, Rumble, YouTube. And so because I am live streaming to all of these platforms, I have a very large audience. I'm not just relying on my YouTube audience. I'm not just relying on my Facebook audience. And so it doesn't matter that I have lots of likes and subscribers because of the worldly platform that I'm using. I reach so many people. Plus, I have private invites that I send out every week. Next week, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, I've been running this show for a year. Next week, I'm going to have my very first guest speaker who is a current student in the class. So that's going to be very interesting if you tune in next week. If everything works out, one of my students, Elismo, has gracefully agreed to be a guest speaker on our next show, which will be next Monday. And you will get to hear from one of my students as they're currently in class. They didn't graduate. They're still actively in class. He'll be taking the second portion of his 2-month class, and so he's completed the first month, and he'll talk to you about how he did on his testing, how he's been doing in the class, what he feels, how he thinks about the class, and does he have the confidence to move on after the class. And so I'm very happy to be bringing one of my students as my very first guest speaker. I've been running this show for a year, and now for the very first time I'm going to have a guest speaker because, as I said, this show was originally designed to be an interview process so that you, the individual who's looking to join a real estate school, sign up with a real estate school, can use this live streaming platform that I put together to get a better feeling about the class, about what you're going to be learning in the class and me and my style. So, my name again is Warren Nelson, ladies and gentlemen. I have 30 years of experience, and I just read my long resume. I own brokerages. I'm more than qualified, ladies and gentlemen. When I'm not teaching pre-licensing, I teach contracts, and I teach the real estate contracts. I teach the real estate contracts as a professional, as another educational institution, and I teach the real estate contracts to my agents who will be predominantly representing our clients through the contract. So it's very important that they thoroughly understand the agreement of sale, the listing contract, the buyer agency agreement, the option contracts, rent to buy, lease to purchase, owner financing, vendor vendee, purchase money mortgage, and so forth. So we go over all these things in the class, and every now and then I like to bring out a little interview. Now, occupational hazard, I stopped apologizing for the phone ringing because not only do I have one, but I have two phones that are constantly ringing. So I don't make any apologies except for the fact that I couldn't answer this call right now. So I apologize to those who are calling me right now. I can't answer the phone, but I do see the number and I will get back. Ladies and gentlemen, I teach you how to run a real estate business, and you'll see that one of the things that I teach is your database and lead generation, prospecting and marketing. There's a difference between all of them. And so you don't know these things until you need these things to be successful in the real estate business. Let's just say that you are running a restaurant. Well, how are all of your customers going to know that your restaurant is open for business? How are you going to fill up the tables and the chairs? Let's just say that you have a nail salon or a beauty salon. Where are your clients coming from? Where are your customers coming from? Do you think that if you build it, they will come? That's a lot of TV world, ladies and gentlemen. You got to get the message out. You got to let everybody know that you are out there. You got to do your 15 minutes of fame, ladies and gentlemen. And so you need to know that a real estate license is not going to make that money for you. Running a real estate business after you get the license is where your income is going to be coming. And one of the things that I teach in my class is that a business, a company that you start, is not designed to generate income. That would be your mistake. And this is why a lot of businesses fail, especially the first 3 years, because they believe that if they started a business or a company, that the company would put them on easy street and they never have to work another day in their life. It's actually the opposite, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like almost everything that I teach is just about the opposite because it goes against conventional wisdom. But the business, the company that you start is not designed to create the revenue. Ladies and gentlemen, your database is designed to create the revenue. Your business is only a mechanism of the database. And so this is why a lot of businesses fail. A lot of companies fail because they rely on the business, the company, to be making the money. It is not the company, it's not the business that makes the money. It is the database. It is the clients that you bring in the door. If you have no customers and no clients, then your company, your business is not making any money. No matter how polished it is, no matter what you do, if there's no customers and there's no clients, then you have no business. And so understanding that the business is not making you money, your database, and learning how to cultivate that database, learning how to build that database, and learning how to use that database is the secret to success. The other secret to success, ladies and gentlemen, is this quick little motto: you have to work to succeed. There are no get-rich-quick schemes, and by now, I think you, if you haven't been disappointed yet, by now I think you know there are no entitlement programs, ladies and gentlemen. The government cannot give you free health care, free college, free this, free that. No way, no how. The only way that you can get any of that is by your taxes. And the only way that you can get better health care, the only way that you can get better college, is to change the institution and the management of those institutions, because the management of the healthcare industry and the management of the college fraternities right now, no good. So you got bad management in those two arenas, and you're getting a terrible return. We got so many students declined for colleges. Their roles have dropped immensely. The healthcare industry is just pharmaceutical industry. It just seems like doctors are just prescribing drugs and they really can't diagnose anymore. I call doctors exam preps. What they do is they just read the results of the test, and that's all a doctor can basically do today is diagnose you through the results of the computers and the diagnosis. But they don't have that old-fashioned doctor ability to be able to feel you and look at you and pretty much determine what's wrong with you. I always like at 3:30 today, I saw the best doctor that I always see, and that's my chiropractor. Because if I want instant relief, if I want to feel good, then it's not by prescriptions and it's not by the pharmaceutical industry. It is by alternative healing, alternative methods, and my chiropractor snaps me right into place. I leave there feeling better, and that is the difference that you have to understand, that the medical and the government is not going to be giving you anything, not today, ladies and gentlemen. So you have to do for yourself. You have to put yourself in a better predicament, in a better position, so that you're not relying on entitlements, you're not relying on get rich quick schemes, and you're not relying on others. If you understand that you have to work to succeed and you're able to put yourself in a position to do so, then you will be better off than everybody else. You will be ahead of the game. But everybody's looking for the happen today, get rich. I don't want to wait till tomorrow. And this is what a problem is. I warn my students and I warn about those that are looking at a school. If you're looking for the quick route, the online course, that's by no means a quick route. You'll find that out the hard way. Or that 3-week class or that weekend class where they cram everything in it and give you the whole 75 hours in a 24-hour period. You're going to find that you're going to be coming up a little short on the hours there, ladies and gentlemen, and on the education and the knowledge. So you might get lucky and pass an exam with the crash course that you got, or what you were able to absorb on an online course. You might get lucky and pass the exam. But that would be the extent of it. That's all that platforms gave you, was just enough to pass. But when you're looking for those shortcuts, those quick routes, that's what you're going to get. Sometimes it doesn't pay to go cheap, ladies and gentlemen. You ever buy a cheap sofa? A couple months later, you need to buy another cheap sofa? Actually cost you more in the long run, didn't it? Now you have 2 cheap sofas, and it's going to last you about the same amount of time before you buy the 3rd cheap sofa. How much money did you save buying 3 cheap sofas when you could have bought one beautiful, comfortable sofa, paid a little bit more for it, and in the long run, it paid off dividends for you? It was a great return on your investment. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, there's no quick get rich quick schemes. There's no shortcuts in life. You have to work to succeed. So this class was designed to put all those elements together and teach you how to run a real estate business. What I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is share my screen with you and show you a few things. This here is the website that we have for online real estate school. This here down here is a live chat person. This is not an auto bot, ladies and gentlemen. So we have actual live people that you can associate with and communicate with. And this is up here where you want to go. When you go to the payment options, you can go to our live streaming class. And when you click onto the live streaming class, ladies and gentlemen, it will take you to your option of our morning class or evening class. I offer 2 classes. I offer a morning class, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And this would be for 8 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. And I also offer an evening class, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's 4 weeks, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for real estate practice. Then it's 4 weeks, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for real estate fundamental. And they're only 3.5-hour days. They're 4-hour days, but we do take a half-hour break. And in that time, It's not overexhausting. It's not overbearing where your brain is fried and you can't think anymore. It is a nice, comfortable 3.5 hour day broken up with a half-hour lunch break, and so that you can comfortably absorb everything. You're not fatigued, you're not tired, and it's just the right amount of time for a classroom by a live streaming platform so that you're able to absorb as much as you possibly can without over trying to absorb too much at one time. So, this is our class. Let's just say that you choose an evening class, select the option, and this is what you're going to experience, ladies and gentlemen. What you have here is our drop down menu. Our next class is May 10th, but as you can see, we have other classes if you can't make the May class, or June or July or August class. Again, as I said, I would love for you to monopolize the market that we're running into right now. Try to grab that spring summer market, but if you cannot because of semesters and other things that you can't come into the class until July, then make it as soon as you can. Many of you have probably been putting this off for a long time now because life got in the way. And you always wanted to get into real estate. You just didn't know which direction to take. And there was always one reason or another excuse as to not pursue your passion and your dreams of getting a real estate license and getting into the real estate. So, may I suggest that because we have a live stream platform, that you can do this out of the comfort of your home and see me, I'll be your instructor, ask me questions in the class, then maybe this is the time that you would want to consider doing what you've been trying to do for a long time, but just been putting it off. So, let's just say that you choose the May class, ladies and gentlemen, add that to the cart. Here's what I want to bring to your attention. This book right here, ladies and gentlemen, this hard copy, $50, is only if you want it. Because what you're going to see is that in our class, and let's see, it's still sharing the screen. Okay, very good. You're going to get our ebook, see, Modern Real Estate Practice in Pennsylvania. So rather than paying for the manual, unless you want it, now, ladies and gentlemen, let's see. This is what it looks like. This is the manual, very thick book. All right, so Modern Real Estate Practice, 14th edition, very thick book. If you want this book mailed to you, then there is a $50 charge for this book to be mailed out. But what I'm trying to point out is you don't need to put the $50 out. You don't need it. What you get for the $2.99 is this ebook, ladies and gentlemen. And how this ebook works is great for our class and great for the homework assignments. So you're going to get exactly what you get in the book in an e-book format. And the ebook format has many other functions, ladies and gentlemen, that you can work with. And these functions allow you to highlight, allows you to take notes, allows you to do flashcards, allows you to bookmark it, and also, if you want, this can even read out loud to you. Let's try this. And read out loud.
The ownership of real estate involves numerous legal concepts. It includes rights that provide for the use, enjoyment, possession, control, and transfer of the real estate. A complex
So you get the gist. There are many things that you can do with the ebook that you would not be able to do with just the manual. And so I want you to understand that the ebook is incorporated into the class. And what we do, ladies and gentlemen, is incorporated and included into our price. So it is $2.99. Now see how this pop up? This is a real person on the other end of my system ready to talk to you. This is not an Autobot or artificial intelligence. This is real. All right, so put them out on the side. And now $2.99. Now, the way that I broke the class out, ladies and gentlemen, as I told you before, is it's 1 month for real estate practice, and then the following month, real estate fundamental. So the way I charge, it's $299 for one class, and then the following month, $299 for the other class. And the reason that I've done this is if you take the first class and you're not happy with what you picked up and what you've learned, then you don't have to invest the $299 in the other portion of the class, making it a wise choice. So when we go to proceed to checkout, you will have a video of me telling you that you don't need the book, you do need to register, and that you're going to be learning a lot more in my class than probably any other class. So I put together this website to make life very easy for you, but you will, because the real estate commission, you're going to be, everything has to go to Harrisburg. So you need to register on my site so that we have all your information for Harrisburg to register you for the exam. May I suggest when you register the billing that your name matches your ID, but sometimes you can't do that because of your credit card. If your address on your credit card with the bank does not match the address that you're putting on this, it will deny your credit card because the address that you have with the bank and the address that you're putting on this enrollment doesn't match. So keep that in mind, that the addresses have to match. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's very easy to go to my website. All you have to do is take the top window, payment options, go to the live streaming platform, and from there, choose either the morning or the evening class. Choose if you want a hard copy manual or not for the extra $50. You don't need it. And then sign up for my May class, ladies and gentlemen. This is the easy way of doing this. Now, what I want you to hear is from some of our students and what they said in the past, and tell me if you can hear the confidence that you have. And we're looking forward to updated reviews. So when you go to my website, you will see the video reviews. You can read the reviews, and these are all my students, ladies and gentlemen, and these are all bona fide reviews. So let me share this with you.
Well, this school was the only school with 5-star reviews. I did a lot of research.
The information that you give us is just like amazing.
I had a family member that attended your school and they just spoke wonders about you.
I think like most of everybody in the class, it was the reviews for me.
After reading your reviews and just trusting my friend, he said, you're 100% the way to go, and I do not regret it at all whatsoever.
Your school is amazing.
When I came to you, it was within my expectations.
And the broker knows, like, okay, this person, wherever they're going to school at, they know what they're doing.
Once I talked to you and spoke to you, I was just like, okay, I think this is the right school.
Personally, I have a very good friend that's actually in the real estate business already a broker. He actually recommended you to be a teacher.
Like served as a mentor, just as many others have said. So it's been a pleasure. It really has.
After your classes, I become like more knowledge and it's great. It's a great journey with you.
You care about all your students.
He's more than a teacher. He's a mentor. He's someone you look up to.
And you're a great teacher, to be honest with you. You slow down when people have a question. You review things as many times as we need you to.
But you take your time. You actually read to us to get to know and understand this. And I am so ready.
Very glad that I chose your school. It's online school, so it's great for me because you don't have to travel anywhere. I just choose you and it was a great time.
I thank you, and I would take this class over and over and over and over and over.
One of the best teachers ever.
This would be really good for me. And then I think what really pulled me in was once I talked to you on the phone.
I did see the 5-star review. I did look around a little bit.
I mentioned you, and your school is like really, a lot of people knows about your school.
And I was a little bit skeptical because 5-star reviews, no business, no nothing has 5-star reviews. But it worked out amazing, and I'm happy I chose this school.
But the information that you give, that you get more than a lot of teachers out there get.
Oh, absolutely. I think the school actually really went beyond my expectations.
I cannot thank you enough for the experience and just preparation to run my own business.
It's like more information that you give us, the more knowledge. I just lock that into my brain, and I know I'm just going to get out there and achieve a lot of things.
Working with you has been a pleasure. It really has. You served as a mentor.
And I would definitely recommend it to anyone who is looking into any kind of real estate at all.
And there's my information, ladies and gentlemen. You can reach out and call me directly, 267-972-1084, 267-972-1084. Or as I showed you, you can go online to onlinerealestateschool.inc.com, onlinerealestateschool.inc.com, as you can see directly behind me. Or contact me by phone. I always reach out. I always speak to all of my students, and I try to, at least anyway, before they sign up. So we are going to have a great show next week. I'm really looking forward to it. We'll do a lot of marketing. Everybody's going to know about our show next week because of our guest speaker, our current student. For the very first time, the class is going to have a current student as a guest speaker. That has not been easy because everybody's kind of shy. But if you want to become an influencer, then you have to understand you got to take some risk. You got to get out of that comfort zone. And if I can take you out of your comfort zone, then I'm going to make you very, very successful. But if you don't want to leave that comfort zone, I don't want to do that. I'm not comfortable doing that. No, you won't see me doing that. No way, no way. Well, then where you are today is where you will remain for all your days because you're not willing to leave your comfort zone. One thing that I want you to do is stop being so comfortable and complacent and make the investment. Make the leap. Do what you've been wanting to do for the longest time, ladies and gentlemen. But for some reason or another, you found a reason to put it off. An excuse or not excuse, real life situation where life got in the way and delayed you. Now, hopefully, life's not in the way. Hopefully now with this live streaming platform, there is a reason to be encouraged to learn. Now, one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I like to share with my students. Once you pay for my class, you never have to pay for the class again. You can take my classes over and over and over again. My classes are becoming a community, to my surprise, ladies and gentlemen, because the environment is so lifelike and so uplifting that many of my students come back even after they pass their exam, even after they pass the state exam, and they just like to come back and sit into the class and feel this environment once again. But a lot of my students are now, after passing the exam, moving on to a brokerage where they can help the new agent. Not all brokerages are really designed for brand new agents. A lot of brokerages are designed for agents who already know what they're doing, so that the broker can pretty much set it and forget it, welcome aboard, go get them. But with a brokerage like mine, it's welcome aboard, here's what you need to do first, here's what you need to do next. Do this and do this. So there's a difference between the brokerage that says welcome aboard, go get them, Tiger, up to you now, see what you can do, compared to a brokerage that says here's what you need, Tiger, let's do this, let's do that, and watch the reap and rewards come in if you do this and if you do that. So it's not just a school that you're welcome to come back to over and over and over again. It's an environment, it's a community, it's your alma mater, and then it's going to lead to bigger and better things in life one way or another, ladies and gentlemen. So success breeds success. And as I said, you got to work to succeed. There's no get-rich-quick schemes out there. You do have to put the effort in and the time in. And ladies and gentlemen, you might see that my eyes are a little droopy today because I'm burning the midnight oil. I'm burning this candle so much that I've been doing so much, ladies and gentlemen, that I don't know my days and nights anymore. But I took this on. This was the role. I wanted to have the brokerage. I wanted to have the school. I wanted to have the mortgage operation. I wanted this. So it comes with all these responsibilities. And so I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be tired. That's just the way it is. But I'm also successful. I'm also very happy with everything that's coming into fruition. And it's amazing. I just happened, because I started a new brokerage, I just happened to go back in time, back in 2007, when I've had other similar companies, other schools, other businesses. And it's amazing the marketing and the advertisement that I used in 2007, because we're repeating the 80s and repeating history again. The market and what happened back in 2007, 2008, again, it was a subprime crisis. It was a depressing time, 2007, 2008, 2009. But the marketing that I used during that trivial pursuit, that trivial time, is blending in perfectly with the trivial times that we're in today. Another factor to show you that history is repeating itself. Not only are we repeating the 80s, but we're repeating the 3 years of 2007 to 2009 almost identical. So identical that all my marketing material that I used back then fits perfectly into where we are today, ladies and gentlemen. So just to give you some demonstration. So let's give you a little bit of class time now that you're here. We still have some time, 20 minutes left. Let's talk about the financial arena. Last week, we talked about the mortgages, the conventional mortgage, the cash buyer, the FHA mortgage, the VA mortgage. Well, what you're going to need to know is the financial arena. How the financial industry, the lenders, the banks, the loan officers, how they work. So if you're trying to get a mortgage loan, then chances are you're going to go to somebody like an MLO, which is called a mortgage loan officer. And there's a 3-stage game when you get a loan, which you would need to know as a licensed real estate professional to help your buyers. The 3-stage is loan origination, processing, and underwriting. And so your loan has to go through these 3 stages. And what you also need to know is that when the bank makes the loan, that is known as the primary lender. And what the primary lender does is after they make this loan to you, the buyer, they're going to sell this loan in the secondary market to Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and private investors like myself. I don't buy real estate anymore. I buy the income. I buy the money. Money's in the money. Real estate is absolutely prime. It is absolutely great. But if you get to that next level where I want to take you and understand the banking game, the bank has one product, ladies and gentlemen, one product, and that's Federal Reserve notes. Those nice little greenback, crispy money, paper money that you like, that money has value because of our barter system. We accept that money. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by silver. It doesn't even be backed by a promise. But because we are acceptance of it as a barter, then it has value. Gold and silver is a hedge against inflation, a hedge against bad times. So you would be buying gold and silver in case the dollar loses value. You're getting a real estate license in case the economy loses value. And when the economy loses value, the dollar loses value. So what you're going to need is more of those dollars and in a way to make those dollars. But don't think that investing your dollars in Bitcoin or a digital currency, especially digital currency right now, or gold and silver will float you through the bad times, the rough times. That is not. Remember, all you're trying to do with gold and silver is substitute one barter, which is the paper money, for another form of barter. And this is why a lot of people buy gold and silver wrong. They'll buy big bars of silver or bars of gold, which is not going to do you any good in a barter system. Who can afford to give you a bar of gold when the money has no value? So if you understand how to buy your gold and silver in smaller denominations like grams, not so much grains, but grams, a tenth of an ounce, all the way up to an ounce. An ounce is too much gold, too much silver to be using when the dollar crashes. So smaller denominations of gold and silver, a lot of it would be a good hedge for inflation, knowing how to buy gold and silver, knowing how to buy real estate, knowing how to buy stocks and bonds and so forth is a strategy. And then management is what it all comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. So when I invest in stocks, when I invest in companies, I'm looking at the management, all about the management. And so understand, you got a lot of things that'll be changing. Twitter is going into a different direction. We got midterm elections coming up. You will absolutely see a different direction. And powers to be don't want the direction to change. So things might get a little ugly for a time, just like we saw in Florida, where certain politicians did not like Disney losing its privilege. But this is what happens when you become indebted to certain things in life. It might put you in a different situation than you've ever planned on being. So I don't want to get too political. I'm just going to leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. What I do want you to understand is that I want you to be able to put yourself in a better position so that if bad times come along, and they do, tide comes in, the tide goes out, you are in a good position to ride that tide when we get into a bad position. So we might see interest rates get all the way back up to 12%, ladies and gentlemen. If certain powers to be have their way, that's where they would prefer. Is anybody making any money in the 5%, 3%, 4% arena? So you're going to see the Federal Reserve raise interest rates. You're going to see financial institutions raise interest rates. You're going to see car loans and house loans and credit card loans all go up, ladies and gentlemen. But understand, there is a perfect opportunity to capitalize. And so when you come into my class, I'm going to teach you how to do real estate in the turbulent times that are ahead. That's why you want to come to my class, because I got 30 years of experience. This is not my first rodeo, ladies and gentlemen. And so what I've done in the past and what I'm pulling up in my history will all work great for you in your future endeavors. So the primary lender is the bank that will lend you the money. That bank loan officer has two fees that you would want to know: loan origination fees and discount points. And so let's just say that you go to BOA Bank and they lend you $200,000 to buy a property. Well, that bank is going to charge you two fees for that loan: loan origination fees and discount point. And 1 point and one loan origination fee is 1% of the loan. So if you're buying a $100,000 property and getting a $100,000 loan, one discount point is 1% of the loan, and one loan origination fee point is 1% of the loan. So if it's a $100,000 loan that you're getting, then it's $1,000 for each discount point, and it's $1,000 for each loan origination fee point that's charged by the bank. And so usually the bank will charge 3 or 4 discount points, 3 or 4 loan origination points. So there is 8% on a $100,000 loan, costs you $8,000 for that mortgage. And now the bank will sell that loan at the settlement table to the secondary market, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which will service the loan for the next 30 years, collecting your payments of principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, and making sure that each payment that you make, what needs to go to the taxes goes to the taxes, what needs to go to the insurance goes to the insurance. So this is called servicing the loan. If they have to do foreclosures and so forth, evictions and so forth, this is known as servicing or managing the loan after you make the loan. So in my class, you're going to learn about the primary lender and the secondary mortgage market that buys these loans and how that works. And if you understand that Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac takes low to moderate income earners and makes them homeowners, then you might understand that we're on the verge of losing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And if we do lose Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, then anybody making $70,000 a year or less will not be getting any financing. The bank will not be lending to them. Let's go with the 3 brackets, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to know for low income, middle income, and high income. Low income is anybody who makes $1,000 to $70,000 a year. Anything under $70,000 a year, you are considered low. Middle or moderate income is $70,000 to $250,000. So if you're making $70,000 a year to $250,000 a year in income, then you are middle or moderate income earners. And then anything over $250,000 a year in income is considered high income. So we got 3 brackets. Up to $70,000 is low income. 70 to 250 is middle income, and anything over 250 is high income. And so, those who are in the low income, if we lose Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and we are on the cusp of losing them, I don't think we will. I hope we don't. I've been wrong before, and so I hope we don't. But if we do, then that means anybody making $70,000 a year is not going to get a loan. How is that individual going to be buying a property? Are they going to be stuck in renting property because they can't get a mortgage? No. There are many other creative ways of buying a property around a mortgage. You don't have to just rely on a mortgage to buy property, ladies and gentlemen. And so there are other avenues, the installment loan, the option, first right of refusal. There are many. Assume a mortgage, the assignment of the mortgage, as long as there's no alienation clause or no acceleration clause. There probably will be an acceleration clause, but that doesn't have to kick in if you assume a mortgage. But if there's an alienation clause in that mortgage, then the bank would have to approve the assumption of that mortgage. But if you know how to work around these things, then you can assume a mortgage from the seller and then give them favorable terms and a little bit of cash to take over the property, especially when the bank is not lending money. So these will be the things we'll talk about. The financial institution, give us our yield, we'll give you the loan, and I'm going to teach you how you can take an unqualified buyer and learn how to buy down the points to give the bank their upfront yield so that they can make a loan when they ordinarily wouldn't make a loan. And no school really teaches to this extent, ladies and gentlemen. So when you pass a class and you get your real estate license, you did not learn the things that I just spoke to you about, and therefore you will not know how to do these creative measures: installment loans, option contracts, first right of refusal, purchase money mortgage, deed of trust, deed in trust, vendor vendee. So these are all mechanisms working around the bank, so you don't have to rely on a loan to buy property. So you could buy price or terms. Price or terms. And so I'll teach you how to buy property with terms so that you can land property even if you can't land a loan. So understand that these are the things that I'll be teaching you in my class, and we will be starting our next class on May 10th. That'll be the next class, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have one more show before the May 10th class starts. I believe it's one more show. Let me check my calendar before I go. But our next show, I'm a little excited about, ladies and gentlemen, because one of our students has gracefully said and agreed to be a guest speaker. And so, actually, no, there was actually 2 more shows that we have before our May 10th class. It'll be May 2nd, and May 9th, actually. So, yeah, so the day before our next class starts. So, on the 2nd, next week, we're going to have a guest speaker. I'm looking forward. This is a very bright young man. He has a passion for real estate. You can see it. You can see it's amazing how much he's strived in the class. He knew a lot before he came to the class, but I really think that he's really motivated and enthusiastic about what he's been learning and how he's been learning in the class. So you'll hear for yourself, ladies and gentlemen. At our next, we'll be doing a lot of marketing, a lot of advertisement for our next show, all kinds of email campaigns, social media campaigns, blasting out, boosting, and so forth. So we're hoping to have a large audience for our guest speaker, not to put out too much pressure on him, but we're hoping to have a much large audience for that. And we usually do a lot of advertisement before our next class starts to get as many people to the show to see if we can encourage them and help them make a decision to better themselves and put themselves in a predicament so that they don't wait to the last minute when the tide starts coming in. We don't want it going over your head so that you're having trouble breathing. We want you to be afloat now so that you can ride the tide comfortably. So we'll be promoting our next show. I'm doing so much, ladies and gentlemen, running show after show, running business after business, running class after class, and as long as my eyes don't get too droopy and I can still focus and see what I'm doing, then by all means I will. There will be plenty of time to sleep later, ladies and gentlemen. Right now is the time to work to succeed, and the beauty that I get in my life is by paying it forward and watching you develop, watching you become successful. Because I'm at that stage now where I'm getting ready to retire. I've done all this, so now it's my turn to pay it forward and make sure that I give to you everything that I have available so that you are wildly successful, so that you are actually one of my future reviews. And we'll talk about that in class and why you want to leave a review and how that will help you in the search engine optimization. So we'll talk about all these things later, but you're going to learn so much, ladies and gentlemen, in my class, as you learned a little bit today, that there's the primary lender, the one where you go to get your loan, the things that you're going to need. I'll tell you the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. And if you watched my last show, I showed you how to be prepped and ready to be pre-approved, not pre-qualified. And so you'll need to know the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qualification. And then you need to know the difference between a primary lender, what the primary lender does and what they charge you, and what the second lender does, the secondary market does for the next 30 years of that loan. So these are the things that will educate you to not only be knowledgeable and prepped and prepare yourself financially and put yourself in a nice position so that the banks will be working with you, but it's also going to prep you to represent your clients so that you can help them and put them in a position so that you are a wildly successful real estate agent after you pass the exam that I'm going to prep you to pass. So, ladies and gentlemen, Online Real Estate School Inc. You can see that right behind me, onlinerealestateschoolinc.com. Go to my website. I showed you in this class how to easily sign up for the class and pay for the next class. Invest that $2.99 in yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you spent more in a slot machine in your past and had nothing to show for it. This is a way that you will be able to invest in yourself. I always teach my students, if you're going to do any investment, the very first thing that you should invest in is yourself and your knowledge. Do not leap into something that you have no clue of what you're doing and invest your money into something and then try to learn what you just invested in. That is a fool's bet, ladies and gentlemen. This is the way to go. This is a class that is mandated by the state. So the things that I'm teaching you are required by the state for you to understand. So there is no get rich quick, no slim shady in this class. You're going to be learning federal law, state law, local law, the American Disability Act, the whole list goes on. All the things that you need to know in this business required by the state so that you can be licensed to represent others. And that's what you're going to be learning in this. So this is a worthwhile investment, ladies and gentlemen, to invest in yourself and invest in your future. And if you can tell people the money that you're going to be making, the things you're going to do, it all started with a $299 investment, you are going to laugh, but you will also be kicking yourself if you did not make the $299 investment and you're still wondering years later, how am I going to succeed? How am I finally going to get ahead? Why is it always one step forward and two steps back? Because I can't get you out of your comfort zone and I can't get you to make a decision. If you could do that, then the world's your oyster, ladies and gentlemen. So, Online Real Estate School, we have a morning class 9 to 1, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, an evening class 6 to 10, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Our next class starts May 10th. I will be your instructor. I will bring a lot of activity and humor and court cases and life experience and videos and pictures into the classroom. I love the live streaming platform. I can incorporate all these things right into your curriculum so you can see the difference between a subdivider and the developer. You can see what a surveyor looks like. You can see what an abstractor does. All these things can be brought to life. We'll take you into the auction, the difference between a tax sale auction and a foreclosure auction, the difference between auctions in Philadelphia and the counties, what junior liens are wiped out, what junior liens are not wiped out, what you're actually buying at an auction because you're not buying the property. And we'll talk about the difference in title, a general warranty deed compared to a quitclaim deed. All these things, ladies and gentlemen, will be described in such a way that it just literally lays the learning curve on your plate so that you can fully grasp everything that we're talking about. So that is it today, ladies and gentlemen. Every Monday I bring this class. We're over a year now in this class, and this class was designed to introduce new students to an introductory course to see what you're going to experience in the class. But this show has gone on to be bigger and better than I've ever imagined. And I thank my viewers that tune in every week. I thank all the live streaming platforms that allow me to carry this show. And I look forward to bringing you our free live streaming real estate class again next Monday. Please subscribe, like, comment, ring the bell, all the other things that you could do to let us know that you're out there, and any questions that you have. And God willing, I will be seeing everybody next week. Be safe, be healthy, be happy. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. And look forward to seeing you again next Monday at 6 p.m. Ciao.